Right, good evening guys. Apologies. We have no qualifying session for you today. We had a couple of technical issues with not going live and other things like that. So, yeah, once again, apologies from myself, James Kirk. We also have Mike Pitman alongside me. But we are here. We're going to be covering the race. And we've just witnessed a very, very interesting qualifying session, Mike, because firstly, the major point of today is we have no Simming Motorsports here. So what we're assuming to be very much a two-team battle, possibly three-team battle into Austria, between Simming and Midnight, was looking to be something of a Midnight Motorsports domination, as they are the only of the top two teams to have come into today. However, the qualifying session we've just witnessed, seen debutante in the World GT, Jake Cooper, for Infinity Esports, smash everyone out to the park. He beat the two Midnight boys by 4 and 5/10 respectively, and I wasn't expecting much from Infinity Esports as they didn't do quite that well in WSS yesterday, but by the looks of it, a certain Jake Cooper has really clicked with the track today, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him obviously yesterday driving around, so it's not a massive surprise, but at the same time, you know, I didn't quite expect him to be that far ahead and right up the top. There's a good few guys that are potentially up there with the Midnight guys as well, so can give them a run for the money. I mean, am I right in looking at a bit of rain in this warm-up as well?
There is a bit of rain. Roy Schroten, rain trolls us again. We're not quite sure. I mean, we shouldn't have rain for the race. But if we do, that will certainly be interesting, because we had a bit of rain at the end of Monza a month ago, and that was very interesting, to say the least, because we saw Dave Carr-Smith, who of course isn't here today, drop off in lap times dramatically, but only for a couple of laps, and he sort of got into the gist of it. But anyway, I think it's worth going down the top 10, as you guys wouldn't have seen it, obviously. So, on pole position, we have Jake Cooper for Infinity Esports, so a great debut for him there. Then we have the two Midnights of Lucas Euler, of course the Super League winner here in Austria, and Alex Cooper, who won a WSS race here yesterday. Then we have the Flying Dutchman from Hell. He's very rapidly becoming known in the form of Govan Kini for Vodball. He's got the speed. Let's just see if they can keep it clean. Then we've got a very impressive performance from Roy Schroten for Racing Team Schroten in P5, followed by Tom Parker for Woods Racing. Now, Tom unfortunately retired from Monza with an engine blowout, and he wasn't sounding too confident today, but I think he'd be very happy with 6th position in the Ferrari or 30. Then we have Simon Melhuish for TMO. He's recently decided to actually go away from Formula Challenge, focus on his World GT expeditions, and the extra practice certainly seems to have helped him in securing 8th position. Sorry, I lied, sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7th position, I lied. Then, Jordan Weeks, new Nordschen employee. In World GT, he's decided to sign up with S Motorsport, and he's taken 8th on his first qualifying in World GT, so good effort from him there. Then we have Mr. Stanton for Sim Racing. Which Stanton is that? Well, it's David Stanton. The other Stanton, we don't know where he is actually. He's been replaced by a certain Ryan Walker I was seeing in the server earlier. But either way, it's a good job from Stanton to get into 9th, looking like he's going to be with much better prospects, as opposed to Monza, where he had to fight his way up from the back of the field. And then we've got another newcomer to World GT, Pedro Malim, and he is competing with CSG Racing, who is also brought along with them Mr. Sean Stroud, who is very much becoming, well, he's got a bit of a motif for rocket starts since his return to sim racing. Looked very impressive in WSS, bagged himself 2 4th positions, starting outside of the top 10 today, so would we be expecting another rocket start from him, or do you think the World GT cars might throw him off a little bit, Mike?
I did expect him to be higher up the grid, to be honest. But then again, he has been sort of thrown in as a quite late comer to this. So I suppose it may be the next round. I expect him to really start kicking in. But he's potentially a championship winner. He's that good that he could do this if he's the Sean of old.
We were actually talking about it. You worked alongside him, and how was this? You know, where else did you work alongside him?
This was a league prior to this, but I believe he actually won the championship that year.
Wow.
He was. There's a few drivers that will still remember him. I think Ryan Walker used to drive at the same time. There's a few other guys that still drive in Super League. So he's known obviously around the teams. He's still been. He's a great car painter as well. I think he's been doing that in his spare time, and he's never really left the scene. But it's nice to see him back out on track again. I'm excited to see how he'll do.
Absolutely, and especially considering his impressive return in racing with the WSS yesterday, I think even he definitely sounded in TeamSpeak afterwards that he wasn't expecting what he got, and he even led the race on the opening lap for WSS in race 1. So, be interesting how he does. There are quite a few newcomers. I think there's a far too many to go through. But
the other one that interested me was Ryan Walker.
Yes.
Well, considering he hadn't been driving it. Sorry if I. You already.
No. It's a good tangent.
He's one that I've been seeing him down in the. Obviously, he's down in the Formula Challenge, but nonetheless, he's been, doing very
Ryan
well
Walker's
there.
in Super Cup, isn't he?
I'm sorry, I mean, yes. Tell you what, I'm getting confused because I'm looking at both very closely. But he's been doing good, consistent results there as well. Been unlucky a couple of times. I don't think it would take a lot for him to suddenly start getting some really good results out of this.
Well, he didn't qualify in the top 10 clearly, so not the best of starts. However, that said, Sean Bowd hasn't started in the top 10. We'll just have to see how the starts go. And the opening lap of Monza was very chaotic, to say the least. There were quite a few accidents along the way, and even the two leaders suffered issues of their own. Remember that Dave Carr-Smith, his game minimised, while Lucas Euler had a bit of a moment going through Ascari. So plenty can happen. This is World GT. We've got an hour of racing to go. And one extra thing which I think will be very interesting is strategy. Because we saw a month ago the Simming boys pretty much going to near enough the end of the race before they pitted. Whereas others, they pitted earlier, and the likes of Miles Dixon really benefited coming from the bottom half of the top 10, even outside the top 10, up into 5th position. And so it'll be interesting to see, especially around this shorter circuit, where it's more likely that we're going to get lapping, how strategy is play out. So, Jake Cooper re-enters, so that's a good thing. Good to our poleman back. So yes, I'm looking at Jake Cooper, and I'm thinking a new contender for the race win. But who else should we be looking out for, Mike, in terms of possible prize shooter-uppers into the top 10?
I mean, obviously for the actual win itself, you can't go much wrong with the Midnight Boys. They'd be a very safe bet. But like you say, Cooper's shown well already after. Can he keep going for the whole race? I mean, he did obviously he did well yesterday. The field's very close. When you took out the Midnight and the Simming last round, everyone else there was some brilliant fights from like 4th, 5th, second all the way back down through to about 15th. I mean, over an hour. If you're sitting in around 10th position, 20 minutes in, you've still got a good chance of getting some really high points here, especially if you start putting in this weather as well. The guys that impressed me last time, I quite liked the Stanton brothers. I know obviously we've only got one here now, but the battles they were doing, the actual driving from the last round was fantastic. Be nice to see them moving on. And of course, it'd be interesting to see if someone like Miles Dixon or Guest move up with it. They showed a lot of promise last round.
Well, they haven't qualified as highly as I thought they would, though. Yeah, they're both outside the top 10.
Well, there you go. They'll be my picks to make it back up inside the top 10 then for this race. You wanted somebody from far on, if you...
Yeah, well, hopefully Glenn Guest will have a little bit more luck than he has done. Remember, he retired due to a disconnection at Monza, and he didn't exactly shine in WSS yesterday either. But Miles, the Seption boys have, provided something in terms of comeback in many races. Moment. So, yeah, absolutely. Definitely ones to look out for. So we are just about to end our warm-up. We shall have, just to remind you, a formation lap followed by a rolling start, and so I'm not sure how much experience Cooper has had with rolling starts, but the boys behind him in the form of the Midnight Motorsport guys, they've had one race's experience at least in World GT, so they might be able to jump him. Just have to wait and see, and keep an eye on Keeney as well, either in the form of a crash or a quick start. He's definitely a driver which I think everyone in the field will be keeping an eye on, so we're just waiting for last cars.
He's one
to
of those
finish
that
their
writes
laps.
his own headlines, isn't he?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and you know, I don't want to say anything too negative about him. I think the best subtle way to put him is controversial. I mean, I've looked at him in single lap sort of speeds, and he is phenomenal. You know, he can eat
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
our factor man there, but yeah, Keeney has the pace to be able to fight with those up at the front of the grid. That's the only thing he needs to change is his style, and I reckon he could be a real star. You know, I called him the Flying Dutchman yesterday, and I know that you've kind of got many other names which people are bantering about in the chat rooms, various as they are. But yeah, hopefully he'll be able to put on a good show for us, regardless of what he does here in the World GT. So, everyone taking to grid, I hope. Where are the Midnight Boys?
Not here at the moment.
Not here.
And we're
Oh,
on the
restart.
formation.
Wait, no, we're restarting. Okay, that was that was very.
That was a
scary.
close call.
Yeah, goodness me. I was thinking, well, I'm sure a race without the Midnight Boys would be even more open than without them, but I think that is extremely... Ah, hello. Stupid rain. Ah, right, so we were rebooting the server because we had unexpected rain, which we didn't want. We've made it very clear that we're not having rain here in Austria today.
Oh.
Yeah,
Tell
I
you
know,
what, predicting the weather, it's terrible. It
I
makes a
know.
spectacle for us.
Oh, well, there we go. Reload. So everyone's just reloading their setups and stuff. We're just waiting for everyone to do other stuff. So, let's have a little prediction from you, Mike. Who do you reckon's going to win the race?
Again, I don't want to go. I mean, last time I went for Keeney, and obviously I'm still showing faith with him. However, I'm going to head with a Euler win. That's my bet today. After last time's slight mishap, I think he'll show his quality today. And
Okay.
last time I didn't push you on a win. Who would you go for?
I am going to say Cooper from Pole.
Cooper from Pole?
Pole.
All the
Yeah,
way?
all the way. I think that shown in free practice and in qualifying that he can do it. And I know I'm putting faith in him, and I know it's his debut. But
It would be an amazing drive to run for 60 minutes from the top. I know we saw
Attention
Dave
grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
but I mean, it'd be great to see somebody else
Yeah.
that hopefully when Dave comes back, or if he does, then somebody to challenge him again.
well, all I'm going to say is he hasn't looked quick in many other things. I've raced alongside him in other leagues, and I've watched him race in other leagues. And you don't just gain speed like that without being truly talented in certain cars. So, yeah, it will be very interesting to see how it goes. So, yeah, I think everyone is on the grid now. Excellent. And we shall head off on the formation lap. Now, with Jake Cooper leading us off on pole position for Infinity Esports Racing, followed by the two Midnights of Lucas Euler and Alex Cooper. Next up, we have the Flying Dutchman Govan Keeney, and close behind him is Roy Schroten for Racing Team Schroten. Next position is headed up by Parker for Woods Racing, and he is closely followed by Simon Melhuish for Torrent Motorsports. 8th is Jordan Wheat for SS Motorsport, and the top 10 is rounded out by David Stanton for Constant Racing and Pedro Malim for CSG. We then head down 11th where we find Glenn Guest with Sean Stroud, 12th position. We then have the two Target Racing boys of Froda Hansen, surprisingly out-qualifying Sindro Grimseth actually. That's a very good job from Froda to do that. Then have Boyd Bryson for FA Racing, followed by Mike Schroten for Missouric, Alvin Hermser, 17th for Vodbull, followed by Miles Dixon for Slipstream. Will they have resurgence? We'll just have to wait and see. Then we have David Junt, 19th for Nordschen, followed by Simon Crane in 20th for SS. Very impressive stuff yesterday. We'll have to see what we can do here today. There we have Ryan. Oh dear, is that Tom Parker? I think it must be, because we haven't gone past him yet.
I'd imagine.
Yes, Parker. So yeah, we'll have to wait. Tom Parker will probably be joining at the front, I presume. Yeah, Ryan Walker. Then we've got Martin Palm for TMO. That's a very poor qualifying from Palm, actually. It'll be interesting to see whether he can work his way back up the field. So we then have John Hick, followed by Nico de Koninck for Waters Automotive. His teammate, Andreas Waters, is just behind him in 25. And then we have a couple of non-qualifiers in the form of Matt Webb for Epic Racing, Vidas Balchunas for United Racers Motorsports, William Neron for Laurentian Grand Prix, and Louis Wedekind. Also rounding out the field in P29, he is with Epic Racing. Oh dear, what happened to Calvin? Oh, Calvin had a bit of an off as well. Calvin's going to have to find his way back up the field. Oh, he's back up the field now. He had a bit of a lag out moment there. Right, so...
Have we got everyone back in position, do we think?
I believe so, yeah. Tom Parker's 6th. So, let's go on board with Jake Cooper as he rounds... Oh, he's just about to round now. Final corner. I'm on board with him now, so I know when the lights go green. Once they do, we will be off and away. He rounds the final corner now, mindful of the Midnight Boys behind him. Closes to the line. He accelerates, and we are racing here at the Red Ring. It's a decent start from Cooper, but look at Alex Cooper right alongside, indeed past Lucas Euler. He's going to be looking for a little way into turn 1. And oh, Lucas Euler just about holds him around the outside. Look at the start from Tom Parker. Up into 4th already. Simon Melky, which benefited there as well. He's up into 5th, so Roy Troten all start from him there. We're now heading into the entrance to turn 2. Jake Cooper doing very well on his first rolling start. Lucas Euler having to defend early off of Alex Cooper, and everyone getting around there quite nicely. And oh, I think, oh, there's Alex Euler in the wall as he lagged out.
No, he's still going, there's still 2 of them going.
Yeah, oh,
he's obviously dropped back, but they're still going.
Right, so that's good. So
he's lost a couple.
Drama there for Lucas. Yeah, Jordan Weeks has gone ahead of him, and it's all action off the start. There's a bit of bashing into that turn, and a few people have... Oh, it is! Oh. So who's round there? Is that Alex? Alex Cooper's not round. That is Lucas Euler.
That's
Lucas
a lot
Euler's
of people
round.
on there.
Yeah, so goodness me, there's real carnage down there. We saw something similar to that in the WSS, and well, Lucas Euler really losing positions now. Goodness me, down to 12th.
He's going to drop back more and more, I think, now. He looks like he's got a damaged car there.
Oh no, and that's a real shame for the Super League winner, who was looking like he was going to really attack Jake Cooper, but away Jake Cooper goes. Back on board with him now. He goes round the final corner, and so on this first lap, oh, and Calvin Hermser has retired already. So as you cross the line, it's Jake Cooper leading from Alex Cooper. Govan Keeney staying clean now in 3rd. Roy Schroten back up to 4th. Jordan Weeks up to 5th. Tom Parker stays in 6th after all that. Simon Bellew is 7th. Pedro Lemin 8th. Glenn Guest up to 9th, and Froda Hansen is in 10th. That was a wonderful move actually by David Stanton there around the outside, but these two have now got Lucas Euler on the back of them as well, trying to get in the slipstream. David Stanton moves to the left, Sindre Grimseth will be on the right, and Lucas Euler was just hoping that he can get past. Somehow it goes through on the inside of Stanton.
Oh, and they touched slightly, but he's pulled it off.
Yeah.
Will it count? I think he was past already.
Yeah. A decent move there from Lucas. Now he's got the 2 target boys of Froda Hansen and Sindre Gimseth to deal with. And we've got a bit of jostling up at the front. Roy Schroten is up in 4th. Gordon Weeks in 5th. And there's a lot of... Oh, who's fallen back there? It's Tom Parker. Tom Parker went wide at turn 3. He's now down into 9th. And look at this battle for 10th. Lucas Euler's just got past a whole bunch of cars. And they're going 5 abreast into the middle sector. Let's have a little look at this. This is excellent racing. Lucas Euler goes wide. Boyd Bryson there in 11th, holding off Froda Hansen 12th. Martin Palm, good start from him. He's up into 13th there for Torrent Motorsports. But he's got Miles Dixon and David Stanton behind him. So we've got a 7-car or so train going into the... Oh God, it's a double right-hander now. So Martin Palm able to hold off Britta Hansen, for the moment, he's going to be looking to try and get through on the inside of Sindre Grimsteff. And oh no, is that David Stanton off into the pits? Yep, so David Stanton pits. That's a real shame for him. But as we cross the line, very, very close battle here for the bottom of the top 10. It looks like Lucas Euler is starting to pull away from Boyd Bryson for FA. And yes, it looks to have calmed down a bit now, but goodness me, that was a manic opening few laps there for the Super League winner here in Austria.
I think we'll see Euler pull away now by the looks of things, but yeah, he's lucky to come through there unscathed at certain points.
Right, so keeping you updated what's happening at the front. Jake Cooper currently is from Alex Cooper by 2 seconds, and I think that gap might be saying the same. We're not sure how well Alex Cooper will be doing later on in the race, but as I said before, he won the race here yesterday with WSS, and with his teammate now out the way, he will be looking to push forward and try and get a little bit of momentum going to try and win this race. Govan Keeney, what can I say, to Grifto around one of the parts of the S's there, but he stayed clean, and by staying clean, he has found himself in 3rd position. It's a good battle now, 4th and 5th. It's Roy Schroten versus the new Nordstrom driver, Gordon Weeks. And Schroten did well here, but from what I've seen of Weeks on race pace, he will be looking to get past Schroten in the next couple of laps. He's already looking like he's got much better pace than the Dutchman as we enter the first corner. Once again, there's really nothing doing here. Your main overtaking points are really going to be turn 2 and turn 3, so we'll have to see how much of a good momentum Weeks has got here. Maybe just out of slipstream range for the moment, but oh goodness me, Kuma Lim, I've just noticed, has done pretty well as well. He's now up into 6th position for CSG, ahead of Simon Melhish for Torrent. So yeah, lots of shift, lots of mixing, but everything appearing much cleaner now as we enter, I think it's lap 3 or 4.
Very interesting to see now that all the teams are split up as well. We haven't got 2 people in a team that can block people off or help each other. Everyone's on their own almost now.
And just to say, Sean Stroud has retired as well, so that's a real shame. We were building him up, and fortunately gone already is the English driver. Yeah, it's a real shame, but there you go. Such is the way that sim racing goes, unfortunately. So Jake Cooper doing well. He's still about 2.2 seconds ahead of Alex Cooper for Midnight, and I don't think John Hicken's doing too well, his teammate. Indeed, yeah, John Hicken's down in 26 at the moment, so at the moment it's very much Cooper doing the handiwork for Infinity Esports. Can he hold on for full hour though? That's the question as we now move into the 50-minute mark, I believe. 50 minutes to go. Speed, Jay Cooper, Godspeed.
I think he's proving you right already, isn't he? 5 laps in. Are you feeling happy? Feeling confident?
Pretty well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm just having a little look down the field to see whether he got any close racing. Oh, is that a good race? Right, let's go to 16 and P15. So this is Ryan Walker for Constant versus Mike Schroten for 16, and indeed Mike Schroten,
he's overshot
really
it.
Outbreaking himself, yeah. Ryan's got away scot-free there, and now Mike is going to have to deal with Miles Dixon for slipstream on the back. I'm actually not losing out as much as I thought he did there. There's a little bit of lag around turn 2, unfortunately, so I'm seeing cars go off and go, no, it's gone off, and actually they haven't gone off, they're keeping it rather nicely. But Mike Schroten, nevertheless, he seems to have the better, slipping and sliding around though. But as I was saying before, he seems to have the better of Ryan Wall in terms of pure speed around this circuit, but he's got to keep it in a straight line in order to make any inroads on the Scottish man, because otherwise, you know, this is the final point-paying position they're fighting over for here, and every point counts, and I'm sure that Missouri could be very happy if Mike is able to nab a little point off of Constant Racing. We've already got some good points in the bag, don't forget, from David Santon's efforts from Monza. So we're rounding the final corner now, and you can see already Mike Schroten has visibly caught up Ryan Walker in just the space of a couple of sectors, and I am wondering whether he will make a move on him this lap, but try not pardon me, to overshoot himself. They've got now traffic ready in the form of John Hicken. He moves safely offline. A good job there from John. Yeah, Mike Scroton, look at him. He's already hassling the Ryan Walker. He's in the slipstream. Will he outbrake himself? I'd rather hope that he would have learned from his mistakes the previous lap. He sticks to the inside. Will Ryan Walker? Yes, he holds on just about, but Mike Scroton hasn't outbroken himself this time, and might very well have a better chance going down into turn 3.
All over the back of him. He's got that slipstream on him. It's just, I'm expecting going to be turn 2. Seems to be his favourite place to pass by the looks of things.
Even earlier though, look how close he's gotten Ryan in his first 2 sectors even. I mean, there's not going to be much doing around this though. Oh my goodness me, that was hello, Keeney. Keeney's had a bit of a moment.
Oh.
He's now in P10, P11, so I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to have a little... Oh, I can't look back, sorry, but Keeney has fallen back to 11th from 3rd position, so whether he got entangled somewhere, whether it was his own, whether his own fault, he's now back in P11. A real shame for the Dutchman there, who's looking quite strong. That means that Roy Schroten, for Racing Team Schroten, is now up into P3. He'll be ecstatic with that, but he's got to be mindful. Jordan Weeks for SS is still hassling the back of him. Only 5 tenths behind. I lied. 3 tenths behind now in that one sector alone. In fact, he's hassling now for turn 2 already. I think we might be seeing he's battling for a podium once again.
Looking that way, and it's going to be an interesting little battle between these two.
Going into turn 3 now, Jordan Weeks doesn't want to do any dive. Oh, and he's won it! Just as we said he was going to be battling for a podium, he spins it and down to P9, P10, P11, P12. Pass because everyone else he rejoins just behind Frode Hansen. I fear that he's going to get entangled into the Ryan Walker, Mike Scroton back that we were looking at earlier. Ryan Walker still holding on to Mike actually. Very impressive, but yeah, Jordan Weeks, what a shame there. I think it's a little bit damp on track actually. See all these cars, and I did see in the background there on my screen grey clouds. So rain could yet affect this Austrian race despite our little rain chance telling it to go away.
Well, that would just add another spice to this, wouldn't it?
It would, you're absolutely right, and what this means for the front runners is that they're now in pretty clean air. Roy Schroten, who was being hassled by Jordan Weeks, is now 3 seconds ahead of 4th place man Pedro Molin. I'm sure Pedro will be absolutely ecstatic with his performance so far, but does have Simon Melhuish catching him fast, and Simon didn't really have to race in Monza, got spun around a couple of times, but since dropping Formula Challenge, he's a much more confident driver, much quicker. And he is starting to catch on the CSG driver. Behind Simon is the resurgent Glenn Guest, currently in 6th position. And Lucas Euler, by these drivers spinning in front of him, he's being thrown multiple lifelines. Now currently occupying P7, Tom Parker's P8, Govan Keeney now back up to P9. He has passed Boyd Bryson, who rounds out the top 10 for FA Racing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see these guys coming back through the field. Just shows their raw speed that they've got on some of these drivers.
Right,
Some people just found the grip with this, haven't
they? They absolutely have. The man who's found grip more than others, by the look of it, is a certain Jake Cooper, who, as he crosses the line now to go on to lap 9, he's found another 3 seconds to his advantage. He now leads Alex Cooper by 5.8 seconds. It's truly astonishing. A really, really performance here from the Infinity driver. Take nothing away from Alex Cooper. A second is an absolutely brilliant position to gain. But he's not exactly pulling away at a speed of knots from Roy Schroten, who's only about 2.6 seconds behind as we speak. Could yet see something from the Dutchman later in the race, as strategy, of course, still has its part to play in the race.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they do with this. If anyone learnt from the Symink guys doing, massively long runs, and then just doing a quick splash and go, almost it was at the end of the day. I'll be really interested to see if anyone does it.
Sorry, let's cut across, sorry, to P4. Simon Melhish looking up the inside of Pedro Malim. It's a 3-car train of Pedro Malim for CSG, Simon Melhish for Torrent, and Glenn Guest has been able to catch onto the back. I don't think Pedro is as fast as he was letting on. He was just capitalising on other people spinning in front of him, and if Glenn Guest and Melhish don't make a move soon, they're going to have the Midnight Motorsport driver Lucas Euler on the back of them as well. So Ace is really the only option these drivers have here, although the damp track doesn't exactly make things easier. Simon Melhish is going dramatically off wide there, almost into the gravel, and that's allowed Pedro to actually pull out. And so I think the move we're looking is more likely now is going to be Glenn Guest on Simon Melhish. Simon not doing well here at all, and oh goodness me, look at P9 and P10 as well. Govan Keeney trying to bully his way past Boyd Bryson, not doing anything at the moment, but Keeney clearly a fast driver, and there's flashing of lights as well. So I'm thinking maybe a knock somewhere, but oh, I just really hope he doesn't do something stupid, because otherwise he's going to get into more trouble with the stewards. And well, I've got to say,
this is the worry we have with him.
Yeah,
he's obviously got the skill, and we thought we could tame him.
Yeah,
Time will only tell, I suppose.
I did forget to say, Mike, actually, since Monza, there's been a bit of a penalty. There's been a bit of a penalty, you know, stuff put on there. I don't know what I'm saying. There have been 2 penalties awarded to Keeney, which has basically added 50 seconds off to his Monza time. And so although he finished P8 in the race, we reckon he's moved down quite a few places because of that 50-second penalty. And Mr. Carl Smith, who's admin for this race today, has said specifically, no aggressive use of headlights. And oh, Keeney's gone wide again, and that's allowed Palm through as well. And Sindre Grimseth is looked to capitalise on this as well. Oh, he just about holds on there, but oh, and the Dutchman, oh, but Palm's off there as well. And oh no, Keeney goes right the way round. Palm given the lifeline, and the Dutchman's retired. The Dutchman has retired, as has David Stanton actually. So rage quitting galore as Keeney goes from such good prospects to outrace. Really, well, there's not much to say about it really. That's the way things go. Oh,
yeah,
Simon,
like I said, we thought we could tame him.
Yeah, Simon Melhish as well has had a bit of an issue. He's now 10th though. The dampness of the track really starting to catch people out as Jordan Weeks begins his move back up the field by move on Martin. I mean, he's looking fast actually, is Jordan, as he moves himself back up into P11. But he's got Palm on the back of him now. Palm's going to be looking to get a little bit moved back through. He did quite well in WSS. Oh, and Weeks almost pushing him out to side there. And Palm does the good old switcheroo on him. Brilliant move there from the Swedish driver. He's back into 11, and it'll be interesting to see whether Jordan can break on at this rate, because we know he's a faster driver by the looks of things in race pace, and indeed he's already looking for a move back at turn 3. Really, really trying to squeeze it,
that
and
is
he
aggressive.
makes it stick just about. Yeah, as you say, very aggressive, but he's got the job done, and hopefully he can pull away to try and catch up. He does, yeah, well, absolutely. Like he was battling for a podium before. What's to say that he shouldn't be up at the end of the race? We still got, well, it must be 40, 30 minutes. Oh, and Frodo Hansen goes wide there. Yeah, as I said, 30, 40 minutes left to go with this race. What's to say that Jordan can't make his way back up in the podium positions? Anything can happen at this rate.
Well, yeah, we've got that long to go. 42 minutes still to go by my reckoning. So, I mean, like you say, anything can happen. You know, Euler's back up to 5th, 6th, is it now?
6th. He's 6th now, yeah. And catching Glenn Guest, I believe, at a rate of about a couple of tenths laps. So keep an eye on Lucas Euler, that's for certain. So let's have a quick recap of the top 10. It's Jake Cooper still leading from Alex Cooper by 7.2 seconds. Roy Schroten has begun to build a bit of a gap from Pedro Malim, who's been given a lifeline by Simon Melhish not harrying him. Then we've got Glenn Guest in 5th, Lucas Euler in 6th. Tom Parker found himself back in 7th position. Very lucky considering his spins were in the opening laps. And we've got Boyd Bryson in 8th for FA. Sindre Grimseth for Target 9th. And Simon Melhish rounds out the top for TMO. Our retirements so far are Sean Stroud, Calvin Hermser, John Hicken, David Stanton, and the latest one, Govan Keeney, the Flying Dutchman from hell. definitely not a good race for Oddball, as both your drivers now are out of the race.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. This is a learning curve, second race for us. First season back, first time we tried GT cars. So we'll see where we're at, and we'll return for the next round and give you some headlines to write anyway.
Actually, out of interest, I mean, I have kind of glazed over the fact that you are Oddball manager. Looking at Govan, can you still keep faith in him? Or, you know, after a couple of rough performances, do you start to look around at other drivers? You can be completely honest, you don't have to answer my question if you don't like, but I am interested in, you know, how team managers deal with drivers that seem to, you know, have a couple of issues on their entry into sim racing.
Well, obviously we'll have a sit down. We always have like a meeting afterwards with both the drivers, see how the race went for them. You know, I mean, if they've shown a bit of promise, that's what we were looking for to start with. But then you have got to look at consistency. You know, if I can get 2 cars to the finish, that's better than a fast car that doesn't finish. You know, he may not be that popular, put it that way. But at the same time, we'll just have to sit back as a team and see where we go from here. It may be, you know, we've got a few drivers that might want to give it a go. He might take a couple of races out and see if we can do some stuff offline or away from the community, and come back stronger.
Right, well, yeah, that's really interesting actually, and I think I do somewhat sympathise with Govan in the fact I was never the quietest of sim racers on my entry into sim racing. I used to take being hit in the backside very badly, but you know, I do believe in perseverance. And I mean, you look at Roman Grosjean in F1, you kind of look at Maldonado in F1 as well. And there's always room for improvement, and you can always improve them. And so, I'd say,
yeah, I mean,
to the viewers,
I'd never dump a driver. I'd never get rid of someone on just purely on poor performance, because at the end of the day, it's a team game, and actually, we're here to have a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh, and that's the whole point. You know, if everyone's out there enjoying themselves and coming, you know, not necessarily all about winning, then that matters more to me than getting a driver in that can win me a race.
Right, so while we were having a little bit of a collision there, Pedro Milim's had a bit of an off at turn 2. Outbroke himself trying to defend from Guest, who's now up into 4th, and Lucas Euler, lucky man, he's now up into P5 once again. And from what we've seen of Pedro so far, he doesn't seem to have the pace to be able to keep up with the Midnight Driver. So looking good for Lucas. And looking good for Glenn as well. I really hope he doesn't have issues like he has in the past, because this would be a wonderful result for Slipstream. I'm trying to look at where Miles Dixon is. His teammate Miles is currently in the last points paying position of 15th, but as I say that, not for long. Ryan Walker's just overtaken him. And so Miles is struggling. Struggling much worse than he did at Monza, which is a shame, but good points in the form of Glenn Guest. If Miles try and, and as I say that, Glenn just goes off, but if Miles can try and keep it on track and try and, you know, possibly play out well with the strategy like he did last race at Monza, then we might see him up in the points. Yes, and so just a quick recap of the top 10. Jake Cooper leads from Alex Cooper. Roy Schroten still in 3rd. He'll be extremely pleased with that. Now 8 seconds ahead of Glenn Guest, who's closely followed by Lucas Euler, Pedro Milim, Tom Parker, Boyd Bryson, Sindre Grimstead, and Simon Meluis. Look at Simon Meluis in P10. He's being harried by the resurgent Jordan Weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan's going to have a try and go into turn 2. He's pulled out the slipstream rather early. He's going to try and outbrake him. He's alongside him now. Going into turn 2. Can Simon hold the outside? No, he can't. Good move by Jordan Weeks there. Job done. Up into the top 10 once again.
That was very professional. I was very impressed with that. You can see why he's been signed up to a top team. Although it looks like he's going to have to fight this. Oh!
Was that a push from Meluis?
Oh, it was tight. I'm not sure whether they actually touched. I was even watching the thing, and be interested to see if he gives the place back.
Yes, he's visibly slowed down. So
yeah.
Well, yeah. I think contact never appreciated, but when you've got good gentlemanly-like qualities like Simon let you back through after a little tap, you can't really complain. And actually, we saw an absolute, you know, symbol of gentlemanliness in Oscar Hardwick.
He's going to take him.
Yeah, he's going to take him again, actually, as we say that. And all well held, actually, by Jordan Weeks, but yeah, goodness me. Oh, someone's DNF. That's Tom Parker. Oh no, Tom Parker's DNF as well. So I'm not sure what happened there, but he's gone as well. But as I was going back to my point from yesterday, we saw Oscar Hardwick take out Jeremy Allen on the final corner. Remember, this was for a second and third position. He hit Jeremy Allen, who was running out of fuel, and Oscar Hardwick pushed Jeremy Allen across the line to take second, with Oscar conceding third. And you know, to have drivers like they are a real role models to others, because we don't see, you know, half as much of it in racing in general. But yeah, going back to Tom Parker, real shame for him there. That's his second DNF now, and I don't think he'll be very happy with that at all, especially given that despite his non-confidence, he was actually riding quite well in this race.
Yeah, he was. There's been a few little issues. Across the field, some drivers we thought would be much further up than they are. But ultimately, still got another half an hour to go, so this could even change again. I mean, I love this series,
absolutely,
I really do.
It's really,
changes
really good,
every lap.
And you know what? I like it. It's less manic as WSS. You know, you get those small manic spots, but you have moments like this where you can just sort of relax and talk about other things. And yeah, it's absolutely. I love this series. Really, really is going to be fascinating to see how it pans out, because we still have, well, I think it's 7 rounds still to go after this, which is absolutely brilliant. So, Jake Cooper extending his lead yet again. He's now up to 8.2 seconds ahead of Alex Cooper. Roy Schroeder
Lucas Euler is just about to take. I think he's going to try and get 4th here.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. I did say that he was catching up to Guest a couple of tenths per lap, and he's right on the back of him now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him retake in the next couple of laps, maybe even in the next lap as we speak. So we'll keep a little eye on this action now. It's just outside the podium positions. Oh, Glenn Guest goes wide, but it's able to hold it. That's very good driving from the Englishman there, Lucas Euler. I don't want to say
some bravery there, keeping your foot in.
Yeah, I'm really impressed actually. And oh, it goes wide there. And mind you, look who's behind and who's been able to catch up because he's too battling. I said that Pedro Malim didn't have the pace, but by staying there in the background, he's been able to catch up onto the back of these two. And in fact, he's looking to have possibly a little move on Lucas Euler as we speak. Very good stuff from Pedro there. I'm not sure what nationality he is, but that doesn't really mean anything. Very impressive drive from Malim on his debut in World GT.
Yeah, he's really impressing me. I really hope he can keep this going for the next 30 minutes. Be a little bit of a coup if he can take a world champion as well in a second.
Absolutely. And looking at Glenn Guest now, he's actually starting to pull away from Euler, so I think Euler probably having a bit of problems on that lap. And as we said, excuse you, Pedro.
I do apologise.
There's no worries, don't worry. I get
Hope you
that.
don't catch my cold next time.
No, don't send it through the internet. I don't want a virus. But anyway, let's have a little look, see what's going on down the field. This seems to have spaced out a bit now. Let's have a little look at Jordan Weeks. Currently now in P9, he's overtaken Martin Palm. Although Palm's going to have a little look through again for P9, and Jordan Weeks giving him the space. Really, really good conservative driving from Jordan. And as you say, we're both extremely impressed with him. And when I first read the post that he'd been signed up by Norwegian, I was a little bit... Well, I was thinking, why not go for the likes of Ryan Walker? Why not go for the likes of... Oh, goodness me, Martin Palm. Martin Palm almost sliding into his teammate there. But yeah, as I was saying, why not go for the likes of James Shepherd? Well, this is why. He's able to keep it on track. He's able to keep it conservative. And look at him now after a spin which saw him down in the teens. He's now back up to P9 and holding off the two TMO boys extremely well. Of course, this battling between the two TMO boys has let Frode Hansen for Target Racing onto the back of the battle now. So, still good points here to be won.
We've
And
got
it'll
boy
be-
Bryson as well, right on the back of, is it Meliorish?
No. That's
Is it not?
Hansen on the back of Mel Hirsch.
Oh, I do
That's about what
apologise.
we were talking about.
Sorry, no, sorry. Well, we're about P6, I think we're talking. P6 and 7?
P6, that's... so Pedro Malim, Glenn Guest and Lucas Euler battle.
That's the one. They're still as close as I can see. Sorry, my error there.
That is... No, it's a very fair point. Lucas Euler has been to get the gap back on Guest, but... There's no real attempts at moves at the moment. I think Euler's biding his time. Very much so. I believe we're halfway through the race now.
I think we got one more minute yet. I think you're preempting that slightly.
Well, I've only got I've got like 0.5 hours on my screen at the moment, so very hard to tell at this point in time. Right, so quick recap of the top 10 then. Jake Cooper still extending his gap. It's now 8.7 from Alex Cooper. And actually look at Roy Schroten. Let's have a little look at the battle for P2 and P3. I thought I saw Roy catching up on Alex. It was 2.5 seconds last time I checked. Now it is 1.2 seconds, and that could be extremely interesting to see whether Roy can indeed catch the likes of Alex Cooper. Actually, sorry, let's have a look back at 11 and 12 now. P11, P12, Simon Melhirsch, Froda Hansen, because there was a bit of jostling for position there. I did see Froda Hansen overtake Melhirsch for a bit. Actually, just as I say that, I think that... Go on and hold on. I'm not sure about you, Mike, but is there rain at turn 1?
Oh, it's very hard to tell my pictures here. There is actually, yeah, you're right. Definitely,
it is
you're
rain.
right.
We have rain. Oh, excellent! Another
Oh, my rain dance worked.
Excellent. Right, so we got another retirement. Ryan Walker's retired.
Oh.
Oh, so that's both constant cars to the running, both Vodball cars out of the running. One CSG, one Infinity, and one Woods out of the running. A real shame, but we do have rain, ladies and gentlemen, and this could change absolutely everything if the rain stays consistent. We're looking at it, and I think it's roughly turn 1 up to the middle sector. It's definitely coming in from the turn 1 side of the track, though. And the question is now, do they risk going in for wet tyres? Because rain arrived at Monza. I think is... Oh, hold on. Where's Roy Schroten gone? Oh, Roy Schroten's pitting. Right, this is interesting. I'm wondering if he's going to pit for wet tyres. Let me have a little look at him.
I don't think he's pitted, has he? I think he's just dropped back slightly.
He is pitting. No, he is definitely in the pits, Roy.
Sorry.
Yep. P11 currently. But as I said before, Froda Hansen pits there as well. Rain hit us at Monza very late in the race, and so people could afford to stay out on tyres, and Mike Schroten there is pitting as well. So William the Rom pits as well. I'm wondering whether they are pitting for wet tyres.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you're much further down the grid. You've got nothing to lose, really. You take the risk, and you can only gain an awful lot. You know, especially if you're outside the points.
Just going to keep an eye on Roy for the moment now, see whether I can't see whether he's on wet. It's very hard to tell. I'm not sure whether we do have a distinctive livery for the wet tyres, but regardless, he rejoins in 13th behind Miles Dixon, quite way behind Miles as well. And yeah, I'm just keeping an eye. Jake's gone round again. Alex Cooper's gone round again. And the next one who would be eligible to pit is Glenn Guest. He goes round again. So I think this is where we're going to start to see strategies out. Whether people go into the wet tyre or not. Is this a light shower? Is this going to be a consistent shower? We don't know at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see. But what this does do for the 10 at the moment is Jake Cooper is first, but his gap has been reduced by a second to Alex Cooper, who has Glenn Guest behind, quite a way behind though, slipstream, followed by Lucas Euler, Pedro Malim, Sindre Grimseth, Jordan Weeks, who's now up into 7th, Martin Palm 8th, Simon Mayhew 9th, and Boy Bryson, who's in 10th, is currently in the pits. He has been passed though by Louise Weddikind for Epic Racing, who started at the back of the grid, remember? Now up into P10, of course, he will more than likely have to pit.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting none of the top few have decided to make a pit stop. The lap times haven't dropped as much as we think. The rain's going to have to get a little bit worse before anyone makes a proper wet change for this. Oh, having said that...
Oh, Kyle Cooper's in! Jake Cooper, our race leader, has pitted. I shall keep a little eye on Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper's going round again. Good move or foolish move, we'll have to see. Glenn Guest is next, and Lucas Euler, goodness me, he's right up to the back of the slipstream driver. Guest doesn't pit. Euler doesn't pit. Next up is Pedro Malim. Malim doesn't pit. And so Jake Cooper's going to be falling down the order now. And you must wonder whether this is a decent strategic move or a bad strategic move, because now Alex Cooper has got clear track ahead of him. He's going to be able to stretch his feet.
We saw this last race, didn't we, that the pit stops at this point take ages, they seem to. And on such a short track like this, it would be interesting to see if it's... And this pit stop really could destroy his race almost.
Down to 8th at the moment. He's left the pits now. Still in 8th. Looking at Sindre Grimseth. Grimseth has pitted behind him. Bruce Weddykind is coming round now. So Jake Cooper will rejoin 8th position. So it's still a top 8 for the debutant. Which by no mean feat is bad. However, as you say, this could have destroyed his race. You'll just have to wait and see. Oh! Oh! No, he's hit! Oh, he's gone!
Kept it going just. That'd be really interesting to know what tyres they were.
Is he gone?
That looks like that's him gone.
It's his terminal. Oh no!
He's parking it up.
Oh, he's parking up. What a shame. What an absolute shame for Jake Cooper, leading that race up until the halfway point. Hits. And it's all over. Simple as that. And so now, Alex Cooper, who has been second for this entire race, given a lifeline by his teammate, having a bit of issues on the first few laps, hasn't pitted again, is leading the race. And it's just a question of holding on. He's currently 13 seconds for Glenn Guest. And oh, has Lucas Euler pitted? No. Lucas Euler's had a bit of an issue somewhere, hasn't he? He's now behind Pedro Malim, who's found himself up in the top 3. So good on you, Pedro. Keep going. And actually, out of interest, where's Roy Schroten gone? Where has Mr. Schroten gone? Doing quite well. And then, so Roy Schroten is still down, 11th position. Right, so with Jake Cooper's retirement, our top 10, who's gone down? Bruce Weddykind is now pitting, right, okay, as is Simon Well here. So, have a couple of pits now, but top 10 as they are. Alex Cooper leads from Glenn Guest, Pedro Malim, Lucas Euler, Martin Palm, now up into P5, Jordan Weeks up into P6, Boyd Bryson P7, Miles Dixon P8, Roy Schroten now up into P9 after the fellow pit stops, and Simon Crane for SS Motorsport is now rounding out the top 10. Cooper goes round again. Just having a look at Glenn Guest, and Guest is going round again, and so I think it's quite clear to see that the Midnight Motorsport slipstream cars are taking the leaf out of Simink's book for pit stops from last race. It looks like they're going to be going much later than the other cars. Pedro Malim goes round again. Lucas Euler goes round again. But I see Frode Hansen hitting there for Target Racing. So strategy's playing out now, and it looks like this might very well be benefiting the Midnight and Slipstream cars more than anyone else.
Yeah, they've obviously got a strategy that they're going to stick to, and I think Cooper just proved the point before when he came into the pits, and I don't know what tyres he was on, but a mistake straight away means it's either very slippy out of that first couple of corners. These guys are obviously handling it well on their tyres, so why pit?
So we got a close battle here. 8 and P9. Roy Schroten v Miles Dixon. Racing Team Schroten v Slipstream. And Roy has got the job done quite convincingly. He is now up into P8. And Miles Dixon really has nothing to answer for it in turn 1. Does he have a better turnout? No, I think Miles is not looking that confident in these damp conditions. The rain does seem to have stopped. So anyone who did pit onto wet tyres, maybe not the best choice. As yeah, he's visibly falling behind now. Roy Schroten looking to work his way back up into near enough the podium positions. That's where he was before. And with people still to pit, I believe, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up at the end of this race. But I'm just looking at the times, Alex Cooper, and he's lost a second to Glenn Guest. Absolutely lost a second to Glenn Guest. So,
you should see that over the next few laps.
It will be. I'm going to keep an eye on that. The gap is currently 12.6 seconds. I'll keep an eye on that in the back.
I'm watching Weeks down in 6th, just about to try and go at Palm.
We did see this battle earlier. Ended in tears for Weeks, unfortunately, but as I said before, he looks much faster than the Swedish driver. And although this will be a good finish for Palm, considering they finished in the teens, and there's a bit of contact there.
Time on the outside.
Just outbroke himself. But you can see that Weeks is definitely faster than the Swede. Whether he'll be a bit more aggressive as he was in the earlier laps, we'll have to wait and see though, because it is damp conditions. And as he proved right there, very, very easy to outbrake yourself and not account for the wet conditions. Nevertheless, look how much better exit he has got out of turn 3. Absolutely amazing. He's hassling the Palm. He can't. No way. And that's a bit naughty, Jordan. And he rightly slows down. Good man. Good man. He lets Palm back pass. And, well, that would have been a fabulous move if he'd been able to pull it off without contact. But he's got to do the work all over again.
Seemed as though he almost surprised himself with the speed he was carrying through there. That he just ended up tapping him slightly.
So, yeah, real shame there for Weeks. Even then, Palm's not looking like the happiest bunny in that Toro Motorsport car, and Jordan Weeks is already right onto the back of him once again. Running very wide though, and it's almost the opposite to Weeks and Melhewish quite a bit before, and indeed Weeks is going to look for the inside of one! Not this time for the moment, but the car that he has got, the SS Motorsport, looks absolutely supreme through corners, looks much better on the braking, looks much better on the exit, and this is definitely a battle to watch in the future for 5th and 6th place. Really closing up, and a bit of a ill wag from Martin Palm there. Weeks will definitely have the better run out now, and just a little update on lapped cars. Only the top 11 are now unlapped, with Simon Crane being the last of them. So I did say there was going to be much more lapping, and I think there's about, was it 20 minutes to go?
Yeah, 19 minutes? By my watch. You're not far off on these things, are you?
I try my best, Mike. I try my best. And as we go back to the battle between Martin and Jordan Weeks, no silly moves this time around for Jordan Weeks, but he's definitely hassling the back of Martin Palm. As we enter the final sector now, up the hill, will he go for a dual dive manoeuvre on the inside? No, he's still hassling on the back. I reckon he's going to be looking to try and get him onto the entrance of turn 1. And no!
He's pitted.
As I say that, Jordan Weeks pits. So Weeks pits from 6th position. Roy Schroten is the closest car behind him. He's just going around. The S in 7th position. Boydson is close behind him. Miles Dixon not too far behind as well. And so Weeks might be able to just get away with this. He pits. Well, if he is able to escape now, Roy Schroten's just coming around the final corner now. Jordan Weeks still in the pit, so Roy Schroten is going to overtake him. Most likely Boyd Bryson is going to overtake him as well. I think Miles Dixon will most likely get him as well. Indeed, he will. Sindre Grimseth is next. He's only entering the penultimate corner. But this is a long stop from Weeks.
These cars do take a while to fill.
Sindre Grimseth is coming around the final corner now. Jordan Weeks still in the pits. Crane is with Mike Schroten, not far behind.
He's coming out the pits now.
Down to 10th, down to 11th for Simon Crane, but he's safely going to get ahead of Mike Schroten. So Weeks back into the field, back into 11th. So not exactly the best position he was hoping for. Oh, and Alex Cooper's in. Alex Cooper's in, and Glenn Guest will lead the race. Pedro Malim is going to go as well, as is Lucas Euler. So Alex Cooper down to 4th. Martin Palm pits from 5th. And so Roy Schroten is the next closest car. But I mean, as I said, he's entering the S now. These pits take a very, very long time. And so I'm thinking Alex Cooper might actually come out behind Roy Schroten.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I was expecting, to be honest, the top guys to be pitting in another 5 minutes from now. Yet
this is going to be close. Roy Schroten is coming across the line now. Alex Cooper, I think, is just about going to be able to do it. Yeah, he's miles ahead, actually. So yeah, Alex Cooper, decent pit, but Roy Schroten has got the momentum. Roy Schroten has got the warmer tyres, and it's going to be very interesting to see whether he can catch up to Cooper in the next couple of laps. I'm just having a look down the rest of the field, though. Martin Palm has just finished pitting. He's going to be overtaken by Sindre Grimseth and most likely Simon Crane as well. No, I don't think he's going to be overtaken by Miles Dixon, but Sindre Grimseth has got him just on the exit of turn 1. And so it's just about actually as well. So it's a good job from the Target Racing boy just to keep ahead, but he's got Palm very close behind him now. He's going to have to watch his back for 7th and 8th place.
it was interesting on that Palm pit stop. They timed that at 38 seconds there, stationary.
Yeah.
That's an awful long time on a track like this.
Oh, and Guest has pitted. Pedro Malim leads the race. Lucas Euler has gone round again, and what we've got to see now is whether Alex Cooper will overtake Glenn Guest. Roy Schroten is just behind him, and given the times of the pit so far, I'd say that these two will very likely overtake them, as well as Boyd Bryson. So Alex Cooper coming around the final one now. Glenn Guest is still stationary, and so Cooper passes. Schroten will pass as well. Boyd Bryson is going to go past Guest as well. Will Sindre Grimseth be able to pass? He's currently entering the final 2 turns, but still stationary. And with Grimseth, he brings Martin Palm as well. It's going to be... Is this close? Guest is still stationary. He's still stationary, and he's going to be passed by Grimseth and Palm. They're down to 8. Goes Sindre
He's on the move.
Simon Crane, though. Oh, is he moving? Right.
He's
Simon
on the move. He's on his way out.
Pits, though. So it's going to be between Guest, Weeks. But Guest is no. I think Guest is. Yeah, Guest is too far ahead of Weeks. So back into 8
Although
goes Glenn
Weeks
Guest
isn't going to be a long way behind. He'll have the speed on him.
No, he's going to be closer than we thought. But still, he's got a bit of work to do. Pedro Malim for CSG goes round again. Lucas Taylor goes round again. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see the times, because how long are the pit stops on average? We're thinking 35 to 40 seconds, yeah?
Yeah, it's getting shorter and shorter, but yeah, you're talking, you need a good 35 seconds at the moment.
So the gap between Miller and Cooper is 33 seconds. Roy Schroten is very close behind Cooper, about 5 tenths, 6 tenths behind. Boyd Bryson's a further 6 seconds down. So, I'm not sure whether Bryson is pitted or not.
I don't think he has yet, if I'm honest. I think he seems to have caught up a lot.
Yeah, if he has pitted, then he could be in for a very good shout for FA Racing at the moment. But the thing we've got to watch out for now is indeed what the leaders do. Pedro Malim, he started this race 10th position. I don't think he had any idea that he would be leading the race from the Super League winner here in Austria, Lucas Euler, but nevertheless he is leading by 1.6 seconds, and with, well, I think it's 15 minutes to go now. He has to be pitting soonish.
We've got just under 13 left now. I mean, these guys, like you say, are a good 33 seconds ahead. Every lap that goes past, this is going to be so tight on this pit stop.
Right, Malim goes round.
Do they take one?
It'd be interesting to see if they do. I think it was the last 10 minutes of the simming race actually pitted, wasn't it? So it's not entirely unfathomable for Malim and Euler to pit in those final few laps. But to say that, Lucas Euler is losing time hand over fist to Alex Cooper and Roy Schroten in turn. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. So your top 10, while there's a bit of breather before the final round of pit stops is Pedro Malim, leading from Lucas Euler, very quickly catching 6/10 in that sector alone. Alex Cooper, third, crosses the line now from Roy Schroten, Boyd Bryson, Martin Palm, Sindre Grimseth, Glenn Guest, Jordan Weeks, and Mike Schroten. And as I say, Jordan Weeks and Glenn Guest, Weeks is most definitely caught up onto the back of Guest. And yeah, in the final...
I'm sorry, we need to go back to the front because Euler is all over the back.
Oh, he is, isn't he? I was saying he caught 6/10 in the first sec. I would not be surprised one bit if Malim pits this lap. I think his tyres have gone completely. You know, he's not able to hit that apex at all. You know, he wasn't exactly setting the sector times alight with fresh tyres at the start of the race. And will Euler indeed go for a dive on the inside? No, not really. Will Malim pit? Malim goes round again. And if anything,
Euler doesn't.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So, Malim goes round again. Lucas Euler pits. And I believe that he'll be overtaken by both Per and Schroten at this rate, who are now just about to enter Sector 3. Boyd Bryson is just entering the S. And
He's on his way already. He's on his way already, Euler.
oh, goodness me, that was a very quick stop, isn't it? I am surprised by that. I'm very surprised. Cooper, I think Euler might have jumped Cooper and Schroten.
It's looking like he might have actually... Oh, Cooper's coming down the main straight. He's going to have done this.
No, back into the race in second.
And of course, Millings has still got a pit, potentially, so that could be.
Well, no, he definitely has to pit, doesn't he?
Well, of course, yeah.
No.
Although we did hear Dave Carr-Smith saying at the end of the last race that he debated going the whole run.
I'm just... Oh. Seems very dodgy. I don't know why everyone else took such a long time to pit. And yet Lucas Euler's pit stop was a few seconds.
Well,
That's
it
very
depends on this.
interesting
It depends how quickly they are on setting the fuel. I mean, they obviously need a splash and dash when you're at, you know, we're 9 minutes from the end.
The thing is I don't think you are allowed to be fueled in pit stops. Nevertheless,
Oh,
Malim goes round again.
I do apologise if they.
I'm not sure, but that's what I got from the chat. I think. What the
I'll
interesting
buy
thing
your
is that
rule
with
book before
Malim...
the next race.
Ah, good man, good man. Well, let's just forget about the rules for the moment. Let's focus on Malim, because Malim has gone round again. And I'm wondering, will he go to the end of the race? Can he go to the end of the race on this lap of fuel? Or yeah, however long he's got. I mean, how long have we got now? It must be 10 minutes or so by now.
We've got just under 9 now, yeah. I mean,
Just under
Alex
9.
Cooper's just done the fastest lap of the race at 1:28.5.
And he is catching up on Lucas Euler. So I was about to say that Lucas Euler's performed something of a masterstroke if Malim pits again.
Oh, he's gone off
However,
Malim.
he's not...
Malim's gone wide.
Oh no!
He's kept it going, but he'd have
just
lost a
about,
bit of
though,
time
hasn't
there. Just like
Yeah,
you say, though, it shows his tyres are going.
He's... Yeah, oh... The question is, can he keep going? Can he keep going? But if he can keep going for the rest of the race, he might have just out everyone. He will have performed a feat of Fernando Alonso in Valencia 2012 standards, coming from nowhere. Take the race win. We'll have to see whether he pits. Does he in this lap? No, he's going round. I think he's going to go to the end.
I mean, he's got, what, a 20-second gap? He can afford a few little...
It's 22 seconds from what I've seen. We'll see. Oh, it's 21.1 now. But he might just have had
Realistically,
the luck
just,
of the
if he
race.
keeps it
Well,
on track... Keeps us on
Someone's-
track,
oh, there's-
it's his...
Yep.
Sorry.
If he keeps on track, you know, if he keeps on track, yeah, fair enough. I was just having a look at those positions going from the low bits. Go on, yeah, go on.
Well, if he keeps this on track, I mean, no one's going to catch him 21 seconds in the few laps we've got left, just on speed.
No.
He's going to, if he, keeps out of the wall.
And one lucky thing, which has also played in his favour, is Alex Cooper, who has caught up to his teammate, now only 2 tenths behind, and these two battling, given that Malim could see him well and truly out in lead, and indeed Cooper, as you say, he's setting fastest laps now. I wouldn't be surprised if he overtakes him, because he has looked the far superior driver throughout the entire race.
This will be interesting. Is it a gentlemanly team, do we feel? Or do we reckon they're both, you know, they're both in this to win at the end of the day, aren't they? But
Multi-21! Multi-21! I think that Nick will be letting them race. I mean, these two are both clean drivers, you know, they'll give each other space, but they'll give each other... Oh, and sorry, Malim's pitted. Malim has pitted, so we... Oh, it'll be interesting to see how long he's for. But I believe that the two Midnight Boys will be coming home in a 1-2 finish at this rate. Oiler's just about holding on. Malim staying stationary.
He's gone.
He's gone. So, fresh tyres. What can Malim do? The two Midnights cross the line now. They will.
Be so tight.
Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be close. Malim.
Whilst that's going on, the Midnight Boys are fighting.
And the Midnight are fighting. Oh my god, sorry for cutting you off, but the two Midnight Boys are fighting. Lucas Euler manages to hold off Alex Cooper, but Pedro Malim, crucially, has come out into the lead of this race. He does not have to pit again. We're entering on the final 7 minutes or so.
5 minutes 40. I've got all the Midnight guys.
And Cooper's through.
Cooper's
through on Euler. Cooper is through on Euler, and Euler will not be happy with that whatsoever. Look at Roy Schroten in the background as well. If anything goes on between the two Midnight Boys, he's going to be absolutely laughing on his way to a podium position. But let's keep an eye on this battle at the front. And no, Malim spun it. Oh no!
Oh.
Contact with Cooper. And well, I was saying that Roy would be looking at a podium if anything was happening between the Midnight Boys. Malim lost it on his own. And oh, that's a real shame for Malim. He pulled a masterstroke in coming out in the lead of the race. But down into fourth, he's gone, and oh, that does not look happy. His tyres are not warm enough to do anything near what he was doing before. And so, Alex Cooper leads this race once again from Lucas Euler. But look at Roy Schroten. He is going to be hassling the back of Euler, and I'm not sure what is wrong with Euler at the moment. But Roy is right over the back of him, and he could be looking at a potential second place here for Racing Team Schroten. An excellent result for the Dutchman, and he's going to make a move. Oh. Euler goes to the inside, Schroten's going to the outside. Schroten gets ahead on the straight, but Euler is going to be able to hold the inside corner. Or is he? Roy Schroten takes the corner. Brilliant move from Schroten there. He goes up into second place. Euler's being left for dead.
He doesn't look happy after that pit stop, Euler. He's just never been the same as he was just before he went in.
One's got to wonder if he's going to be twitchy anymore, because Joe Malim, I think he'd love a podium as a reward for what he's done this race, but something tells me that Euler will be able to keep it on track from now on. One can only hope so. Not long to go now. Alex leads 2.6 seconds ahead of Roy Schroten, who is ahead of Euler and pulling away as well. Pedro Malim got himself up into fourth position from a starting of 10th. Good job there. Lloyd Bryson, very quiet race, but currently in 5th. Great job from South African there. Martin Palm, similarly, outside the top 10 starting, up into 6th now. Sindre Grimseth, 7th. Jordan Weeks, 8th. Glenn Guest-Knight and Mike Schroten, Roy's brother, from Zurich Racing, currently holding off Simon Mohish. Oh, there's a bit of contact. It's turn 2, and he's going to hold the corner. There's a bit of very scrappy there. But there's, Simon Melhuish is now taking 10th position. Schroten seems to have gotten away not as well, and that's a shame, but Simon Melhuish now makes it a double top 10 position for Torrent Motorsport. Your current retirements are Nick Cooper, who led the race for half of it, Ryan Walker, Tom Parker, Govan Keeney, David Stanton, John Hicken, Calvin Hermser, and Sean Stroud. And just looking up at the front again, Alex Cooper seems to be pulling away from Roy Schroten, so this race may very well be done and over with.
You say that, but nothing would surprise me at the moment.
You're not holding out hope for Cooper, are you?
Well, just want some excitement for the viewers. 2.5 minutes to go. I mean, it has been a very good drive by Cooper to get himself back up there again. You can't fault him.
Well, he's just stayed out of trouble, hasn't he? He's just stayed out of trouble. And, you know, I said he was a competitor. He won a WSS last time round. Yesterday, I should say. But I think the drive of the day so far has got to go to Roy Schroten. Man has been really on form today. As we got a bit of jostling for position. 7th and 8th position, Jordan Weeks has just passed Sindre Grimseth for Target Racing. Good move there, and Jordan could have been battling for a podium. Got a bit tangled up, unfortunately. And Sindre is actually going to have a go on the inside, but once again, and that was a bit naughty from Sindre. Hopefully he lets Jordan through again. Yep, good job there. So a little bit of worries there. But yeah, Jordan, good drive considering that he was back outside the top 10 for a considerable amount of this race.
Yeah, there's been a few drivers that have done much better than their qualifying showed. Been interesting to see who can do it over 1 lap and who can do it over an hour.
Well, where is Simon Melhuish gone? Melhuish is down in 14th, he's at the moment. Oh, Melhuish just did. Right, so Melhuish, very late pit stop. He's back out into 14th position. Ahead of, well, look at this battle for 15th, 16th. Yeah, it's 15th, 16th. It's going to be, oh, Boyd Bryson there's ahead of him. Oh, God, Boyd Bryson's going to be attempted to be unlapped by Frode Hansen there. The Target Racing boy not very happy, and Boyd just trying to stay clean. I think he's very happy with his top 5 position there and just trying to stay out of everyone's way. But yeah, Lewis Weddikind therefore is up into 10th, and remember this guy started from the back of the grid, so a fantastic one from Lewis coming from there, now in the top 10. Brilliant job for Epic Racing.
Yeah, and he's managed to stay on the same lap as well, which to be honest in these sort of races is almost an achievement in itself. Absolutely.
I mean, I think it was only the top 6 were unlapped at Monza. I thought there was going to be more lapping here. Now the top 10 are the ones which are unlapped. So really interesting actually to see how the strategy's out. And well, let's see, how long do we have? Like, oh, that's it.
This is it.
Right, so this is it. This is the last lap, and so Alex Cooper is coming round 5.3 seconds ahead of Schroten. Lucas Euler miles ahead of him. Boyd Bryson ahead of is it Om's just ran? Okay, so I think the closest battle on track now is Sindre Grimseth and Jordan Weeks, and Glenn Guest indeed, and Glenn Guest goes through on Jordan Weeks. So Weeks has gone wide there, down to 9th, and Guest is on a real charge at the moment. And oh no, sorry, there was a bit of contact. That was a bit of contact, and so what was looking to be the closest battle out on track has just turned into a, oh, I'm sorry, I hit you. Let go either way through as Sindre Grimseth has left the drivers through there. So yeah, what was looking to be a lovely juicy battle is now gone, and so let's just focus on Alex Cooper, P1. Outstanding. From P3, he has had the luck of his teammate getting tangled in the first 2 laps. Jake Cooper, really, it's such a shame from pole position, failing to really do anything through his pit stop. And Alex Cooper, he runs the final corner. He won race 2 of WSS, and he is going to win the Austrian GT Cup. A really brilliant performance there from the Englishman. Takes the race win. Equally fabulous drive from Roy Schroten for Racing Team Schroten. He takes second. Lucas Euler rounding the ultimate corner now. Oh, is he lagged out?
No, he is there. Don't worry. He's just coming down the straight now.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Okay, so Lucas Euler does indeed. There we go. Right, he crosses the line now. A bit of a lag out from me there. And oh, wait a second. Hold on. What happened to 4th? What happened to Malim? Oh no, Malim's had an issue! Oh no, Malim's gone round. Does that mean Boyd Bryson's taken 4th? Martin Palm's taken 5th. Jordan Wiggs in 6th. Guest is in 7th. And oh, Malim!
Oh, it's a real shame for him.
Pedro! Oh, Pedro Malim. Oh, he should...
Gets him down in 8th, does it, in the end? Glenn Guest got him as well.
He's 8th.
Oh.
Oh, poor Pedro. Oh, my heart goes out to you, sir. What a shame.
I thought he'd pulled an absolute masterstroke with that pit. I really did. I thought we were going to be crowning a new rookie winner. Oh. Always next time.
Always next time, Pedro. Fabulous performance, nevertheless. He's still getting 2 places from his qualifying, so good job there. Sindre Grimseth comes home 9th for Target, and as I said, fantastic race from Lewis Weddikind, who's just about to cross the line now in 10th position. He started at the back of the grid, so a top 10 for him. Absolutely fabulous job, and Well, that was an absolutely brilliant race, Mike. I hope that whoever's come to watch this today agrees. And yeah, really, really awesome job. And one can only wonder what would have happened if the Simming boys had been here, but who cares? We had a brilliant race nonetheless.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start of the race. When I heard they weren't here, you know, be thinking this is going to be a bit of a walk in the park for these Midnight boys. But all right, yeah, they got the win, but it wasn't quite a walk in the park.
Oh well, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, they've got first and third, and I think that puts them very securely at the top of the championship. But well, we don't know what will happen when Sinning returns, if indeed they returned. Dave Carl Smith absolutely dominated Monza. Even with a game minimization, he dominated. So we'll just have to wait and see because, well, round 3, Mike, is one of my absolute top favourite tracks. It's only Spa-Francorchamps, and we're expecting rain again.
Oh, you know me, I love the rain. This is British after all. This is what we love.
So everyone congratulating each other. Yeah, really, you know, yeah, Froda Hansen chose rain tyres at the stop, and I think that was very interesting. We had that small rain shower in the middle, and I fear that some drivers really did make the wrong choice because, well, they could have stayed on dries, and in the end it was those who stayed on dry tyres that were the ones who benefited in the end, just like at Monza indeed.
Yeah, it is always a gamble, and I think we're going to get one race where somebody is going to go on these wet tyres and then dominate, and it's just who's going to be that person, who's going to take the risks now, after 2 races where it's not worked out.
Roy Schroten saying, yes, 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 in the chat room. Yes, indeed, Roy. That, I mean, for Racing Team Schroten, really, really good result, and I think that's going to instill a really good load of confidence in him that he can perform at the front, and who knows, perhaps we might see him competing for race wins in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, I think on the back of that performance, you can always see these things, like you say, the top, you know, top 6, 7, 8, even back there. Any of them could have actually ended up winning this when you look at it.
Right, and so we have the 3 awaiting interview, and yes, very interesting to because all 3 are different races. Yeah, 3 very contrasting races indeed. And we got Dave Carl Smith in the room as well. Wonder if we'll be able to snatch an interview with him, even though he didn't race. Right. So let us start then. Race winner Alex Cooper. I talked to you yesterday after your win in WSS. You admittedly were helped by Jake Cooper's retirement and Lucas's first few lap shenanigans. You're on the top step of the podium. How does it feel, and how do you feel going into next round at Spa?
I'm quite relieved, to be honest, because there's nowhere to catch out of caught Cooper, and I was settling for second pretty much, and then I saw him retire, and it's handy to me really, so I can't complain. But for next race, who knows? I'm not a huge fan of Spa, but I don't think we'll be too far off. I think we can challenge for the win again.
I think that Jake Cooper could possibly be a title contender. I mean, as I said in the broadcast, I've seen him in other stuff, and he hasn't really looked impressive. But then here, he's just flown away, and was leading the race from pole for half of that thing. So, consider him a genuine threat now.
Well, yeah, he's very quick, but I think with the lower temperatures at this track, I think the cars like the Ferrari had a massive boost. I think they're mid-engine cars. And it should be cool again at Spa, so I guess he'll be quick there as well.
Okay, cool. Roy Schroten. Yes, yes, yes. I quote from the chat room. Fabulous result for yourself. Do we dare to dream that Racing Team Schroten can be competing for wins in the future, or do you think that this was just a fabulous result and just take it and leave it as it is?
Yeah, well, thank you for the congrats. I really enjoyed the race, and Alex was just a little bit too fast for me. At the pit stops, I I wanted not to change the tires, but I forgot to shut it off, so
Oh,
I
no.
changed them. Yes, but at the end it turned out very well because I could overtake Lucas with it, and I don't know if I could have the pace to win the race if I didn't change the tires. But I really enjoyed the race. One of the best I've ever had, actually. It's great to win for my own team as well. But I only step in the place of Scott Moore because he couldn't drive tonight. So I currently have no seat left for me here. So, but I don't know what is going to happen with Scott or the other, or Fabio, the other driver of my team who didn't turn up today. I don't know what happened there. But maybe I will go to another team, but I don't know that yet.
I think there's a spare seat going at Laurentian. So perhaps have a little chat to William Laurent afterwards. I think he would love another Jag driver in there. But yeah, fabulous drive, and I really do hope you come back because that was fantastic. And finally, to Lucas, perhaps the most up and down race I've seen you had in a long, long time. You must be relieved to be on the podium after all of that.
Well, yeah, to be on the podium is relieving, but the race was really bad. I got to apologize to the people I hit because, especially in the first laps, it was quite bad driving for me. I mean, I got spun and my car was damaged, but still, I'm not that happy with my own performance. But congrats to Alex and Roy. They drove superb. I tried to gamble a bit with not pitting, but in the end, there was no grip left, so I didn't gain a lot anyway, but still getting P3 after a difficult race is great.
So obviously Midnight, with the absence of Simic this week, now leads the constructors. So do you think that you'll be able... I'll ask the same question to you as I did Alex. So are you thinking Spa a good track for you, or are you, is it not one of your favourite tracks like Alex?
Oh, I like Spa, and I think it should be quite entertaining. In Spa it can always rain. I didn't expect it today, but it did. I think the chance in Spa will be a bit higher. So we should see some interesting racing with the drags and stuff. So.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for all your time, gentlemen. Well done on the result. And well, May the 2nd is the next date to look out for. I know it's a long time away. Unfortunately, that is the case with World GT, but nevertheless, I will be back. Mike will be back, and so I guess all it leaves us to say is a goodbye from Mike.
Goodbye. And a goodbye from James.
And it's a goodbye from me. So we'll see you on May the 2nd. Be there. See you soon.